And here is me waffling on about one specific sort of magic trick to give you an idea for part of the um, four horsemen of the post-apocalypse working as rag and bone men cleaning up the mess of the 21st century apocalypse. There they all are singing, any old iron, shiny plastic people buying crap. This is the end, bloody bloody blah, feed the world, let them know the end is nigh. So anyhow, one of the magic tricks that I wanted to do is like a classic sewing the person in half trick. And yeah, it's a trick I've been wanting to do for ages. So a bit of street theatre. So the carts are being dragged around. It was part of that Jeremy Deller thing where he was getting all the First World War soldiers to walk around all the streets. So that gathered loads of momentum and things like this as they were doing that. So I'd like it to work in that same sort of way. Street performers, we've got this idea, I like making musical instruments. So I wanted Death to have his scythe turn into a ginormous like a crumb horn by sticking an oboe reed in that. And he's going, and you see this. This is like the countdown to when the next show is going to start, when you have these big hourglasses filled with plastic bottles with sand. Next performance is, your time is running out. So one of the little carts is going to be, I saw the lady in half trick, or saw the person in half, saw the Frankenstein in half we're going to do here, as he's a, he's a local lad. So yeah, we're going to grave rob the grave of Mary Shelley and use St John's ambulance defibrillators to bring her back to life. But no, not really, that'd be naughty. So anyhow, we've got this idea to do a Frankenstein saw the person in half trick. But my variation is to have him brought out inspired by the way that Alice Cooper had a ginormous big 25-foot Frankenstein. To have Frankenstein come out with a huge big coat, so the person underneath is sort of hidden in that classic, that classic, they call it the Muppet Man trick in the Muppets. So he's coming out singing "Feed my Frankenstein" with the person inside, Dr. Frankenstein, of course, because that's the monster. Don't get that, yeah. He comes, helps them into the box. He's in the box, closes the lid. The guitarist is still singing away. We have the pallbearers, so like the people from the other carts will come around, take their turn, take the cart round. This is just so silly and just so fun. He's still singing "Feed My Frankenstein." The coffin pallbearers carry the coffin around a bit. I'm reading, aren't I? And into position onto two-wheeled trolleys. You know, here's they are in the position. Sorry, I'm pointing here. They're in there. Top one lifts up his things, second one lifts him down. What happens then? Frankenstein chops them in half by playing a musical saw. But then the Frankenstein's monster is still kind of like singing away. We can do like a musical solo on the saw, all very vaudeville. We can play for time and saw some teddy bears in half and things like that, because you have to make it last when you're doing these sort of things, build up a atmosphere to have once you get the first few people looking and gawping, then you get more and more people going on, so you have to do it, play for time, mate, until you get to the money shot and you chop them in half. You can see it's a pestilence on his hospital stretcher, and that's done with a little pump making it sick and squirt water on the kids. But this trolley thing's good for if you're working it on a stage in a theatre, but I reckon if we're doing it in the streets, we can just do skateboard trucks or something like that on the bottom of the coffin, and we've got a picture of that somewhere. Yep, here he is. There we go. There's Dr. Frankenstein skateboarding away on the monster there. And then the comedy is that there's actually a person in the bottom, so they can get up and run away with their legs. As well whilst he's doing that, and then you basically sew them together, stick them together. That's all there is to it. Look, it's just all latches, tricks and levers. So actually, to back that up, to give a bit of context to that, here's a little bit of a clip for what I did at Beef last year. That's us down the beach in a washing machine, a brain washing machine, doing the Punch and Judy show there, doing the midnight Punch and Judy shows. So that was done by drilling a ginormous hole in the beach that was big enough to hide my body in and all the sort of puppets. So it became a sort of impossible space. That gives you a bit of context and lets you know I mean business. Here's some pictures of a magic routine that I did. This was a head transplant magic trick that I did. So I come on stage playing the trombone, wearing a teapot on my head. I walk into this giant box, round the back of the box, head pops up through the top, hands wiggle, you get the idea. Red curtains removed. I walk into it, blah blah blah. This guy is actually the head of the Sheffield University Neuroscience Department, and he's the head. We were doing a head transplant with him, and we did a bit of context. I'll show you some more of that. There we go. My teapot head gets removed. I go into the box. The head's still in there. Man in the box. Clever, clever, clever. Then I take my clothes off and stick a hose pipe down my pants. Tell you about that later. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's a nice little Django Reinhardt ukulele that I'm making at the moment. Aren't I artistic? And so creative. So that's great. This is... I do a lot of work in care homes and things like that. So here's me doing a sort of Mr. Bobby mime routine here in a care home. So you get the idea. I'm an entertainer. I can do this. And this was a big science festival. I was doing sort of this similar sort of magic tricks here, doing the head transplant. One review of this said it was an insult to academia that was doing this at a science festival. As you can see in there, there's the head, and the kids come along and they give the head electric shocks. They turn them off. That's that classic psychological experiment where you turn up the voltage. So here's us doing sort of things, and we've got inside that rubber head loads of cauliflowers, and we stick that in the George Formby grill and then cook that and get people to taste it. And basically it does this to people's faces. It makes people happy. Cool. Give me all your money. See you later.